Today, a Florida House committee unanimously passed a bill to repeal a law that critics call the free kill law. Now, those pushing to have it repealed argue it unfairly denies certain families the right to sue in cases of medical negligence. And today, lawmakers heard from some of those on both sides of this debate.
I asked myself, how can my dad have went on a Navy ballistic missile submarine and travel the depths of the ocean and make it back home alive? But when he went to a hospital for help for knee pain, he came out dead.
Doctors are not coming to Florida. We need more doctors. Increasing potential liability and medical insurance costs is going to make bringing doctors into the state more difficult.
Now, we traveled to Tallahassee recently and sat down with a Jacksonville lawmaker pushing for change, and we talked with those on both sides of this debate.
For more than 30 years, Florida law has prevented some families from suing for medical malpractice if their loved one who died was over 25, not married, and had no children under 25.
That to me is an unjust law, and the reason it's unjust is because it puts a value on life based on your age and your marital status, or the age of your kids, or a combination of all that. And so,
State Senator Clay Yarborough, a Republican from Jacksonville, has filed a bill to outright repeal it.
it's probably my top priority this year. So we've heard from a lot of families that have been impacted by a wrongful death exception that we have in Florida statute.
For Sabrina Davis, the fight is personal. Her father, Keith Davis, a Navy veteran, died in a Florida hospital in 2020 due to an undiagnosed blood clot. The Florida Health Department found her father's doctor failed to assess and treat his elevated risk and committed medical malpractice. But because of his age, his marital status, and his only child was over 25, every law firm she called gave her the same answer.
They said, we can't help you because your dad falls into this category of people we are unable to help.
Cindy Jenkins heard the same thing after her daughter Taylor died in a Florida hospital.
I never in my wildest dreams could have found out that when I set out on a mission to hold the hospital and doctors accountable, that I would find out that path to justice has been closed for me and my family.
For years, multiple attempts to repeal the law have failed. Right now, several bills are before the legislature to repeal it, filed by those on both sides of the aisle, including State Representative Johanna Lopez, a Democrat.
This is something that is affecting every demographic in the state of Florida. It's something that needs to be changed. I think that the loophole of the free kill law needs to be out.
Republican State Senator Jonathan Martin has filed a bill called the Keith Davis Family Protection Act, named after Sabrina Davis's father.
I know there's so many people that this has happened to and that I'm not alone. And it means a lot to me, I think, to have a name on the bill because it brings a story to the bill. It's not just a number.
Attorney Andy Bolin, whose law firm represents hospitals, doctors, and healthcare providers, supports changing the law only if a cap is put on damages.
What we're talking about is a bill that would expand the number of claims in the state of Florida against doctors and healthcare providers without any type of protection or guardrail whatsoever. So we are against that bill as it's written.
Yarborough says he just wants to ensure all families can pursue justice when there's medical negligence.
That's really the fundamental thing for me, is repealing that. And if we have to introduce caps on the damages, or if there's another way we can do it and thread the needle and get that law repealed without doing that, I'm open to that too. But we have to find a way to do that.
If the law is going to be repealed, I think there has to be caps. Again, Florida has the highest medical malpractice liability insurance premiums in the entire United States of America. We have a burgeoning population, an aging population. So we need to make sure that we are assuring ourselves that there's going to be access to health care in the state of Florida.
While the fate of the bills is now in the hands of lawmakers, Davis doesn't want any other family to be blocked from taking their case to court. She says she will continue to share her story to spark change.
My dad was one of the strongest people that I know. I believe I'm doing what he would want me to do because he did believe in our freedom, and right now I feel like that's been taken away.
How confident are you that this law will be repealed this session?
I think this is the year. I think it may be the perfect climate for this to happen.
Now, State Senator Yarborough's bill was approved by the Senate Judiciary Committee in a 9-2 vote yesterday. These bills still have to be approved by more committees before they make their way to the floor of each chamber. And while none of them currently puts a cap on damages, there is a possibility that that could change as they make their way through the legislature. We, of course, will be tracking them closely and we'll keep you updated.